Okay, welcome to my final project overview for ETAD 404. We're going to take you through the module. In order to get there, first we're going to go through the website that I created in ETAD 803 just this past spring. And we're going to look at my Mechanics 10 engine operating principles. That takes me to 4 categories that we're going to go in, and we're going to select the fuel system. Under fuel system, I have 5 days like we were supposed to do, or 5 hours worth of lessons in order to complete a module. And so this module is the fuel system on a small engine. Instructions here say to complete this skill, proceed through the presentations in the order shown. Before I move on, I'll give you my context. Obviously, I'm a practical and applied arts teacher. I teach mechanics, and this is Mechanics 10. I have a blended asynchronous classroom environment. I usually have students working in pairs, so that's synchronous, but asynchronous being that they could be working on a lot of different things. They could be working on engine repair skills, different engines, automotive skills, any one of these things. And so I may have students all over the shop doing different things at the same time. And so that's why I feel that this environment, the e-learning environment, or this is practically distance education, because they're in the space, they're in the room, but at the same time, I am usually busy doing other things and they need to walk through this themselves. And so that's my context. Right on. You can see I'm going to click on day 1, card purposes, and one of the things that you'll see is that I'm using the website genially, and so it works very well. I just learned about it in my last class, and I'm trying it out and seeing what it could all do. So one of the things that I wanted to focus on as I was going through this project was giving students as many options as possible as far as how they're going to receive information and etc. And so you can see that I have some written words on here, but you could also... Hello, and welcome to the Small Powered Equipment Fuel Systems module. You could also press play and it reads you everything that's on that page. On the longer portions where I've got lots of words, that's what I'll have. Some of the smaller portions where it's just 1 or 2 sentences, I don't add the audio. Usually students can handle that. Student choice is huge, and it's a little bit difficult in how this carburetor works because it's a process and you sort of need to begin at the start and go to the end. And so telling them that they could have work on the middle part instead of the beginning part doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I give them options up here for them to go to later if they want. I also give them this fast forward option. Fast forward is essentially what you're going to see is my old module that I have been teaching this forever and a day, it seems. And it goes through all of the things and takes them through. It's very self-led. They read it, they click on these links. These are videos that they go watch, some of which I am going to use here in this module also. And they go in and watch all of those things. So if they want to zip through it by themselves and just give me the work, I'll do it and get it done in a couple days, hey, let's do it. It doesn't matter to me. And if they want to do that, they can. Many of the students, though, I will recommend that they just follow through the process and go along as I go. You can see I've got several, this last page is all about how the whole system is going to work. And then I move on to what this day or this hour is going to be about. And so we start the conversation. I've got fuel system problem introduction, so I embed a YouTube video that I've made. One of the things that I wanted to focus on is having a case-based scenarios. Case-based scenarios are just so easy to do in my area. I don't have to think it up. It is just there already. I spent 8 years as a mechanic, and so I have lots of stories and scenarios that I can dig from and apply in this situation. So I'm going to do that here. I give them a problem. It's this old guy that I'm pretending to be whose lawnmower is broken. And he's going to go through and... Good morning, Swifty's Mower Service Repair. How can I help you? So that goes through and presents a problem, and that problem I would like to carry all the way through. We go through this process, several different videos Our main part here is the purposes that we're going to learn about. And after that, each one of these pages, it may look a little different for the parts page, has a question and answer so that they can verify what they know. Now, they'll be able to click on this and it will come back and show the results of what they have done. And it also sends it to me. This is made through Google Forms. And so it's just a little quiz, sends them on their way. It's not marked. It's there for formative feedback so that they can look at it and think through some of the things that they had to listen through that day. And so we're going to take you back to the website. Day 1 is done. Day 2 has to do with the parts. There are a few things that I would love to do as far as the parts go. And one of them is I would like to be able to create a picture. Now I have a video here explaining the parts, but I'd love to create an interactive picture that could be on this page that they could hover or click over a part of that picture and it would tell them exactly what it is. So you can see that we have a carb parts challenge. I like to challenge the students and see if they can meet it. So I often put a number in there like 20 seconds and they can chase that challenge and see how well they do. Good, so we're going to go back to the website. I have 2 days, day 3 and day 4 is really breaking down all of the principles it takes to get from the cup to the carb and from the tank to the cup. And so this goes through, I could listen to the audio again, and I have a bunch of recordings that I did. These were done previously in some of my other classes. We talk about pressure differential, we talk about a bunch of other things, Bernoulli's principle, Venturi principle, a lot of good stuff. It's a lot of heavy stuff. And so when I come to this part where I have the self-check, there's a few more questions. I think I would like to make this a little bit longer. It'd be nice if this was 2 days instead of 1 day, because it's just a lot of information for them to process. So that is number 3. This is day 4, where they'll come in and learn how the fuel gets from the tank up into the cup. This is a little bit shorter. In the end, they need to be able to explain this all to me, the instructor. I take them back on the last day, and this is the Pulsajet carb, where they review exactly what the problem was in the first place. And then I have a chart here that they can compare their charts that they're doing together to what I have and make sure that they're not missing anything. And here's another video. I try to give them a lot of different options. They can have this carburetor with them at all times while they're explaining it to me. That is the aid that I will give them. And then they need to be able to do that in a certain amount of time. And they have to do it very smoothly. And they have to do it in a way that I am confident and they are confident that they know what they're talking about. And so that's my project. I hope you get something out of it if you're listening to this as a student. And I hope I obviously get a good mark. There are many things that I would want to add to this. The further I get into educational technology and design and the tools, the more that I want to try different things, but realize that I can't fit it all into this. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to watch some of your other ones while we're here. Thanks. Bye.